Hello, this is Arthur again, and today we have a 2011 Mercedes E63 AMG. This car has 90,000 miles on it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing and watching some of my other videos as well if possible. I have a lot of videos on interesting cars and some interesting repairs that would really help me out and help my channel grow. As far as the car goes, it is in very nice condition. The owner had it for about 6 years. He purchased it as a CPO vehicle, and other than the wheels, it has no other modifications. Overall it's in a great condition. It is here to get new motor mounts. The motor mounts on it are currently very bad. It is making a lot of vibration and noise when you're driving, especially off of idle. And it's very common on a lot of Mercedes, especially with ones with big engines, V8, V12. They go through motor mounts very often, and every few years you have to replace them. And this one is no exception. As well as motor mounts, we're going to replace transmission mount, engine oil change, coolant reservoir and a hose, as well as transmission service and differential service. That's all that we're gonna do today on this car. And owner did provide most of the parts. He actually ordered pretty much everything. For whatever reason, it was all packed in one big box, and the box either was opened or it got broken or something like that, and a lot of the parts are missing from inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the dealer and get the missing parts and add to the parts. Let's take a quick look at the car, and then I'll put you in a time lapse and you can see the repairs in action. Okay, let's take a quick look at the car. It does have some aftermarket wheels on it. It's black with black interior. This is the last year that this model came with a 6.2 liter V8. 2012 and onwards they switched to a bi-turbo 5.5 liter, which is, while it's more powerful, I believe it's also more problematic. This can be problematic too, however, I believe there's less things to go bad. So I think if this would be my choice if I was getting one of these cars with this engine. Overall, this example is a very nice one. I'm a fan of these cars. Most AMGs, I would say, especially with V8 and V12. But this ones in particular are, to me, one of the best purchases you can do with the AMG if you want to go into an AMG. In very nice condition. It has been sitting for a little while because he hasn't been driving it. It's a little dusty, but overall in great shape. Okay, let me show you some of the parts I have. Here are some of the items for the service, but I'm going to get a few more parts from the dealer shortly, but so far this is what I have. Okay, I have the bottom covers off, and see a pretty good amount of oil leak right here. I looked, and it looks like it is coming from the valve covers. You can see right there. There's possibly also leaking rear main seal is very common on these. Sometimes upper oil pan likes to leak, as well as this lower one. But I would suggest doing valve covers first, possibly upper timing covers as well, and then cleaning up over here and then following up at next oil change, see if anything else is leaking. And as far as motor mounts go, you can see it's completely sitting on the motor mount right there. There is like no gap, and the side, I think it's a little bit better, but it's hard to see. so those are bad. So I did lower the steering rack to get some kind of access to the motor mounts. I still need to remove a few other things too to be able to access them and lift up the engine. However, right now at this level where it was, motor mounts are so sunken in, it's almost touching the sway bar. I won't be surprised if it is touching at certain conditions. If it's pretty much, that's how you're getting so much vibration. And you can see the motor mount right there is crushing the rubber on it. Okay, here I have a few more parts. I got a new OEM reservoir, vent hose that is leaking on this car, as well as some transmission bolts, new motor mounts, most importantly, as these are really shot, both of them. You can see the difference in height. They are very compressed, definitely need to go. As well as I got differential fluid. So these are the ones that Mercedes sells per VIN of this car. That's how they sell it. Anyway, let's put this motor mounts back in there. So I do have the mounts on both sides. I don't have the steering rack up yet, but you can see how much gap there is now between the engine and the sway bar. The engine has been lowered and it was so close to it. It's crazy. All right, now let's continue. Okay, motor mounts have been replaced. Next I'm going to put oil in the car, in the engine, and then I have a tray with catch cans on the bottom. I'm going to remove the reservoir as well as this line that is pretty bad and replace it. I have new ones already. I'm just going to go ahead and replace them. Okay, I replaced the reservoir, the hose, put coolant in there. Now I'm gonna do a first start with the new motor mounts, and then next I'm gonna replace the transmission mount, so I haven't replaced it yet, and then the rest. Let's see. Oil is in already. Oh yeah, feels way smoother already. Some coolant on there. They got on the belt possibly. Feel some coolant burning off. That should clear off. Let me check the level one more time. Feels so much smoother already because it was so hard when you turn on. Okay, coolant level is fine. Okay, right now feels super nice. Hasn't been started for a while now, the whole day pretty much. Oh, it feels so nice. Okay, next I'm gonna lift it up and do the transmission mount. Next we're gonna do differential fluid and the transmission service as well. For the differential there is a fill plug right here and there is a drain plug on this side. I'm gonna undo the fill plug first, then the drain plug, and then fill it with fresh fluid. And in the transmission gotta drop the pan, and as well as have to remove this piece from here from the exhaust bracket, and there is a drain plug on a torque converter. Have to drain the torque converter fluid as well. So for transmission service, usually this 722/9 transmissions have a drain plug on a torque converter. For whatever reason, this particular model doesn't have one. I did turn the engine around all the way to see if the drain plug appears, but I guess on this year-end model or this month of production, they don't have it. So I guess we're just gonna go only do the pan. It was a pretty big job. The motor mounts, transmission mount, reservoir, coolant reservoir, hose, transmission service, diff service, quite a bit of stuff. And these cars, I really like these cars. They are fairly easy to work on as far as Mercedes goes. It is one of the better ones to work on. It's not all-wheel drive, it doesn't have turbos, so it's pretty straightforward. I like it a lot, and this car runs a lot smoother now. It was very rough because the motor mounts you saw in the videos, they were really shot, and right now it runs really nice and smooth. So that's about it for this one. Next video is going to be on another AMG. It's a C55. It's going to get valve stem seals replaced. That's going to be coming up in a few days. So far, this is it. Please comment, like and subscribe, and consider watching some of my other videos as well.